Hi guys, today we'll talk about circles. Let's talk about first what is a circle generally. Circle is an infinite amount of dots that are located on an equal size, on equal distance from a point called center. So if we call it center, these all dots will be on equal distance from the center. And this is a circle. If we connect center with any point on the circle, it will be called radius. So even if we connect this point, it's also radius. And each radius is equal to itself, so it's because they are on the same distance. But what happens if we connect two other points not related to center? It would be called chord. Any chord is a line that connects 2 points on the circle. So this would be also a chord. And let's take this. This one will be our longest chord. It's also a chord, but it passes through the center. This chord is called diameter. Let's do it, diameter. And it's the longest chord we ever can have. Let's look like this one is shorter. This one shorter as well. So in any way, wherever we do, the diameter will be always the longest chord. We also see that diameter actually connects to circle through two parts. These are radiuses. So diameter equals 2 radius. This is our first formula to remember. What is circumference? If we consider the length of these dots, like this line, we all have it's called circumference. And how do we find it? Actually, we can notice that there is a relation between length of circumference and the diameter. So the longer is diameter, the longer is the circumference as well. Here, you see, it's longer and this circumference is longer as well. So here we see that there is some kind of relation between circumference and diameter, and this one is called actually very famous, our pi. And from here we know that circumference, let's denote it as c, equals to pi multiplied by diameter. Actually, if we can write also that a diameter is equals to 2r radiuses, then circumference also equal to 2p multiplied by r, or radius. What is p? So it's p approximately equals 3.14, but there are more to that, of course, but this is constant number. So usually we consider p as 3.14. What is the area of the circle? The area of the circle is found by the formula written as area equals pi multiplied r squared. There are actually very interesting explanations of this formula or proof. I will write the links to the videos in the description, but generally it's like, let's draw another circle here, another here, another here, so infinite number of dots, circles here, here, here. And let's take this very smallest circle. Its circumference will be very, very small. Let's a little bit bigger one, so it will be a little bit longer. let's take the other one, a little bit longer. So this would be its length, this one. So this way we will go till the last one, right? And this length would be like very tall. And if we sum this all lengths, we will get the area of this circle. How do we find area of a triangle? Like AB, the area of triangle would be A multiplied B divided by 2. Look here, what is this? This is actually our radius, as you see, like this dot, how many number of these dots we will have, the equal side to the radius. So it's going to be our R. And the length of this will be length of the last circle, and that one equals to circumference. We wrote C, or it's our 2PR. So how do we find area this? It's equal to 2PR multiplied by R divided by 2. We get rid of 2's and we have PR squared. So let's go next. So let's have some practice here. Find the radius and circumference. So R is our question, C is our question, and the area our question if the of the circle if the diameter is 5. So D equals to 5. Well, we know C equals to P multiplied by D. So we have C equals to P multiplied by 5, or 5P. What is our radius? Radius equals, or no, we write D equals to 2R. So we can write R equals D divided by 2. So here, radius equals 5 divided by 2. It's 2.5. And let's find the area. Area equals PR squared. So here it would be P multiplied by 5 squared. It's 25P. And it's a good opportunity to also discover how we can find areas through diameter. Actually, if we know that R 2R equals to diameter, then R equals diameter divided by 2, right? And let's put this here, like area equals P multiplied R square. We can write it as P multiplied diameter divided by 2 square, and this would be P d squared divided by 4. And we can also remember this and just find the area. Okay, find the diameter and the circumference and area of the circle if radius is 25. So D is question, C is question, area is question. What we have radius that equals to 25. So we know that D equals to 2R, then it's 2 multiplied by 25, and we get 50. What is C? C equal to P multiplied by R, and this would be equal to 2 multiplied by P multiplied by 25, and would be 50P. And area, let's find it. So it's gonna be PR square. It's gonna be P multiplied 25 square, and as far as I remember, it should be 625P. Let's check it. So, and that's the next question. So we need find diameter, radius, and area of the circle if circumference is 40P. Okay, we need D, we need R, we need area, and we have C equals to 40P. Okay, since we know that circumference equals PD, we can find PD equals 40P. So we get rid of P's, and diameter equals to 40. So we found it. radius. We know that radius equals diameter divided by 2. It's 40 divided by 2, and it makes 20. And what is the area? Area equals to PR square. So it would be P multiplied by 20 square, and it's going to be 400 P. Okay, another question. Find diameter and radius of circumference of the circle if the area is 49 P. So again, we don't know the diameter, we don't know the radius, we don't know the circumference, and we have the area that is equal to 49 P. I really hope these practices help you. Please comment if you want more of these practices. Let's go. What we know about area? We know that area equals to PR squared. So, and this equals to 49P. When we get rid of p's, we get pi's, we get 2. Radius square equals to 49. And here r equals to 7. Why radius cannot be minus 7? Because its length, we always have positive lengths. So we found out our radius. We have to find our diameter. Diameter equals 2r, and this equals to 2 multiplied 7. It's equal to 14. And our circumference equals p there, or it would be 14p, or 2p r, and this would be again the same, 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r, and it's 7, so we get 14 pi. Let's go. What is next? When we have circles, we also need to know about what we measure. How do we measure the circle? Like in angles, right? How many angles? Actually, if we draw a line here, it will be quarter, and it's going to be its right angle, and it will be 90 degrees. It's our center base angle, so it's also going to be what, 90 degrees, right? But we'll talk about later as well. So this is our first, this is our second, 90, 90, so it already makes 180 degrees. So, and this 3 makes 270, and with fourth quarter we get 360 degrees. It's easy to remember because it's just 4 quarters of 90 degrees. First quarter of 360, and it makes 90. And now we will talk about, we talked already about the circle, but what about its part of the circle? This part, like any part on the circle, is called arc, and arc is also measured in degrees as well, but also in radians. But today we will talk about only degrees. We will cover radians in another video. So let's assume that this arc has degree of alpha, and then we can connect this arc with the center, and it will be our central angle. And the central angle we will call alpha as well, because central angle equals in degrees to the degree of an arc. So we can call alpha equals alpha. And how do we find this? Sometimes we are asked to find out the length of the arc. Since we already know that this whole circle is 300 degrees, and this 360 degrees make up a circumference, right? C, or circumference. We can also write as 2πr, right? 2 pi r. Let's write it 2 pi multiplied by r. We need to find out this side, and it's what? It's going to be our alpha degrees, and it would be our x. How we find it? So we cross multiply. X equals to alpha degrees multiplied 2 pi r divided by 360. But to remember it easier, we write alpha divided by 360 multiplied 2 pi r. So this is how we find length of an arc in degrees, like if it's given in degrees. But also an arc has this part called, like we can find this area, and this area is called sector. How we find a sector? Area of a sector. So it's very similar in practice as we did with the arc. So what we have a 360 degrees that are equal to area. What is area? Pi multiplied by r squared. And we have alpha degrees, let's call it alpha degrees, that are unknown. And we again multiply this, cross multiply, and get to find out that x equals alpha multiplied by pi multiplied r squared divided 360, or to remember it easier, alpha divided 360 degrees multiplied by pi multiplied r squared. And this is our formula to remember identity. Let's have some questions. So guys, if you have questions, please ask them in the comments. I will try to answer them. If not, we will go by the questions written here. So find the length of the arc if the central angle is 30 degrees and the radius is 6. So we need to find out the length of the this arc. Let's call it L. L is question. When we have central angle that is 30 degrees, so if it's 30 degrees, so alpha equals 30 degrees and radius equals to 6. So we know that to find L, we need to first divide alpha by 360 and multiply by circumference, or alpha divided by 360 multiplied 2 pi r. So we have everything, and just put it here. What is alpha? L equals alpha is 30 degrees divided by 360 degrees multiplied by 2 multiplied by pi multiplied r is 6. So what we get here, so we get rid of this and this. This is and also 3. It's 1 divided by 1, 2, 12 multiplied by, oh, it's also 2 by 6. It's 12 pi, and we pi, so we left with pi. Easy peasy. Let's do the next question. So find the circumference and radius if the arc with the central angle of 60 has a length of 4. So it's a vice versa process. So we have to find out our C and radius. If we have alpha equal to 60 and L equal to 4, and L here is the length of the arc. So we know that L equals to alpha divided 360 multiplied by C. So putting here all what we have, we get 4 equals to alpha. What is alpha? It's 60 degrees divided 360 multiplied by C. So we get rid of this and this. We get 4 equals to C multiplied 6. Here c equals 4 multiplied by 6, and this is equal to 24. So we found this. And now let's find the radius. So we know that c equals to 2 pi r. And what we do, we again put everything what we know, that 2 multiplied pi multiplied r equals to 24. Pi multiplied r equals to 24 divided by 2, and this are 12. So r equals 12 divided by pi. We also can calculate it. It would be approximately 12 divided by 3.14. So it's going to be more than, less than 4, but something about it. Next question. So find the area of the sector if the central angle is 45 and radius is 2. Okay, so area of the sector, let's call it area 1 equals to question if the alpha equals to 45 degrees and radius equals to 2. Tricky question. What we know that it would be the area of the sector would be alpha divided by 360 multiplied by the whole area of the circle, or alpha divided 360 multiplied pi r squared. So again, we put everything here and we get our A. So A1 equals alpha is 45 divided 360 degrees multiplied pi multiplied r squared is our 2 square. So we get, so we can write this as 90 divided by 2 divided by 360. It's just easier for me. Pi and 4. So 90 and this, it makes 4, and this divided by this. So we get pi divided by 2. So this is our area of the sector here. Follow. Let's look what is next. If you have any question, guys, please comment them. I will check them now. Let's check if we have any comments. No, then let's continue. So let's talk about the central angle. So we see that we have an angle that is based on the center, right? This is also a central angle, and central angle in degrees is also equal to the degrees of the arc that it's based on. So here as well, this equals to alpha. So if this is alpha, then this is alpha 2. Or if this is alpha, then the central angle equals to alpha as well. But we also have another type of angles that is based on the circle, its vertex is on the circle, and this one is inscribed angle. And how do we measure it? Actually, the inscribed angle is twice smaller as the arc is based on, in degrees, of course. And if this is alpha, then beta is equal to alpha divided by 2, or alpha is equal to 2 multiplied by beta. And actually, any angle that is based on the same arc has the same value, as you see. So this would be also beta because it's located or is on the same arc. So it's also alpha, so it also would be alpha divided by 2, and they are equal. The same is this one. But so we also remember that if it's alpha, then beta equals alpha divided by 2. So the inscribed angle is half of the arc is based on. Let's go to the question. Find beta and alpha if alpha is 40. So if alpha is 40 degrees, right? If it's 40 degrees, then this arc is also 40 degrees. And the beta that is based is inscribed angle will have half of this. So 40 divided by 2, we get 20. It's going to be 20 degrees. Find alpha and beta. Alpha if beta is 70. So let's draw it. So if this one is 70, then the arc is going to be 70 multiplied by 2, or 140. And the alpha, that is a central angle, would be equal to degrees of the arc. So it's also going to be 140. Find alpha and beta if their sum is equal to 150. So it's a little bit tricky, but we will find it out, no worries. So we have a central angle here. That is, let's call it A. Then this arc is also going to be A. And our inscribed angle would be A divided by 2. So their sum is equal to 150. We write A plus A divided by 2 equals 150. I multiply each side by 2. I get 2A plus A equals 300. So 3A equals 300. A equals 100. So we found A. This is A. So alpha would be half of A. No, alpha would be the same A. So alpha is 100. And beta would be A divided by 2. That is equal 100 divided by 2. It gives us 50. Then 50. Is it true? Like 50 plus 100, it makes 150. Thank you, guys. That's it for today. If you have any question, please ask them, and let's try to solve your questions. If not, we will leave here, and we will have math practice on circles this Saturday. If you want to join, press register, and the links will be in the description.